Hey guys, it's me Chan Dragon, and today I will do my first Alhaitham guide. I never make any proper Alhaitham guide before, I just realized, because I lately lazier do a guide compared to like my other fun discussion. But since Alhaitham don't have one, so let's get started about this guide. So as usual, I will cover like skill, a weapon, build, team, something like that. So let's start first with Alhaitham talent, so we have better understanding about how to use him though. So normal charge attack, nothing really special, and in here the elemental skill it called universality and elevation on form. Basically in here Alhaitham have two different styles to use the elemental skill. First one is tap. Tap basically Alhaitham will rush forward or teleport forward to the enemy and dealing damage. Other than that, you can use the hold mode, which is you can enter the aim mode and adjust your direction to which enemy that you want to attack. You can even aim to the sky and Alhaitham will teleport to the sky, and you can do plunging attack. So basically they did the same thing. They will rush forward or teleport forward to the enemy, and then you can perform damage in there. And the next one is the Chisel Light Mirror. This is very important for to know because this is the main source of Alhaitham DPS, and it's very important. So how you can get this Chisel Light Mirror, it has three different ways if I'm not wrong. If I'm not remember. First one, if you use this skill, it will produce one Chisel Light Mirror, but take note, if you have no mirror you will get additional one. So let's say you start with no mirror and you use this skill, you will start at 2 mirror at like once, so you will get 2. But if you already have, let's say, 1 mirror and you use this skill, you will only get 1 though, so take note with that. And also the second way is through the burst, but I will explain later. And the third one is when you use the plunging or charge attack, and if you hit the opponent, okay, you have to hit first though, then you will generate one Chisel Light Mirror. But take note, it's only once every 12 seconds, so use this wisely. So you can get this Chisel Light Mirror 3 at the once, and the very important that you have to know that it's like if you have the more mirror, that means the better, so Alhaitham will deal more damage. So basically, why is this Chisel Light Mirror is very important, and what's the usefulness about this? Because first, it will convert every single Alhaitham attack into damage. Basically, Alhaitham become catalyst user in here. Like whatever he's attacking, it will dealing damage. Until the mirror's gone, then yeah, he will back to the physical, but as long he has the mirror, he will deal damage. And afterward, in here, like on some period of time, the Chisel Light Mirror will unleash the projection attack and dealing AoE damage, which is very important. Later when you saw gameplay, if you see like this kind of like circular like attacking sideline, that's the AoE damage, the projection attack, which is very important because that's the additional damage that you can get DPS for your Alhaitham. So that's why this Chisel Light Mirror is very important, just to dealing more damage, and then another like AoE damage. That's why this is very important to you to know. And here, this is why I say the more mirror is better. You see the scaling. If you have 3, the times is 3. If you have 2, times 2. So it's times. That's why it's stronger. It's not only more like increased like the percentage, but it's times. That's why it's very strong if you have more mirror. So in here for the burst, basically Alhaitham will dealing AoE damage to multiple enemy and hit multiple time also, which is pretty good. And in here 2 seconds after you use the burst, you will consume the mirror that you have, and then you will generate again after the mirror consumed though. So let's say in here, if you consume 0 mirror, or let's say you start the burst without any mirror, then you will get again your mirror 3. But if you have 1 mirror in right now, it will consume 1 mirror, but you get 2 mirror afterwards. But if you have 2 mirror right now, it will consume 2 mirror and you only get 1 mirrors back. But if you have 3 mirrors right now and then use the burst, you will consume all your mirrors, and after the burst you will not get any mirror. So take note with that. Use depends on what you need though. But if I have to suggest, it's the best for you if you see 0, start with no mirror at all though, so you will get 3 mirror. And that's why I will explain later in the combo. And here see the scaling, see what the trade-off is, that if you have the more mirror that you consume, it will hit more, and of course it will dealing more damage. But if you only have like no mirror, it only hit lesser, so the burst become weaker. So it has, for me, my suggestion in here is that it's better for you to use when it has 3 mirror, or you have no mirror at all when you use this burst. So either you get 3 mirror or you lose all the mirror, but you get the very high damage burst though. So for the passive I already explained, you can get your mirror by using plunging or charge attack every 12 seconds, but this one, the one I haven't explained, which is if you increase your elemental mastery, your projection attack will become stronger. It will increase like 0.1% every elemental mastery, so basically you can get up to 100%, which is basically in here 1000 EM, same like Naida. So if you want to get this one as a maximum buff is 1000 EM. So if you're still curious what is the scaling of Alhaitham, basically Alhaitham has two different scaling, which is attack and elemental mastery. This is both important for Alhaitham, so Alhaitham can get benefit from attack and elemental mastery though. So for simple Alhaitham combo at C0, basically after you do all your setup, you always want to start with elemental burst without any single mirror, so you can get 3 mirror in here and you can do around 6 normal attack in here, and after that you can either choose to do a charge attack or elemental skill to maintain back your 3 mirror, and then do another normal attack around 3 to 4 times and do the charge attack or elemental skill in here, and keep doing another normal attack until you lose the mirror though, and do your rotation again. So there's actually one more combo that you can do that's more efficient, but it can only work if you have low ping. If you have ping like me, it can work, but very inconsistent, that's why I didn't prefer. So basically in here you want to do just all the normal setup, but for your last setup, let's say in here in my case is Cookie Shinobu, I will not use the skill first. I will use Alhaitham burst first without any mirror. I will switch back to Cookie very fast, use the skill and go back to Alhaitham and just do normal attack, and you already get your Dendo application right away, because after you use Alhaitham burst you always have 2 seconds like only physical attack, so this one is more efficient. Now for the weapon section, basically Alhaitham in terms of weapon, he is very accessible because a lot of 5-star or even 4-star that can fit with Alhaitham, and that's why this is I really like about Alhaitham. It's very easy for you to get like a good weapon for him though. So the best one, of course, the Light of Foliar Inquisition. This is very good, the best one. Gives you critical damage, critical rate, increase your normal elemental damage, basically useful everything for Alhaitham though. Other than that, that's still very solid. I did comparison, you can check the different only 2 seconds in Spiral Abyss, which is the primordial Jade cutter. It gives you crit rate and it will boost also your attack, and like Alhaitham really beneficial from attack, although he's dead though. So this is also very good weapon for him though. So if you already have him, don't bother to pull this one. This is already very good enough, and the design wise this is very good also for Alhaitham. Other than that, Mid Splitter also work very good with Alhaitham just because it gives the similar critical damage and gives you another elemental damage bonus and stuff like that. Haran Gepaku Futsu also good because gives you critical rate and get elemental damage. And other than that, also Freedom Sword is also very good Kazuo weapon because the scaling also gives you EM, and Alhaitham really need EM and buff your damage, increase your normal charge attack, plunging is very good for Alhaitham also. As 4-star weapon, I will start first with the one that's very accessible or very easy to get, which is Tokabu Sigure, because this is basically you can get for free until R5. If you did like couple patch ago, even Inazuma Yokai event, can get until R5. And then this one is just very good just because you will get elemental mastery also, and very useful for Alhaitham, and it has effect. You can give 1 curse mark to the one of the enemy for 10 seconds, and it will increase your weapon deal damage by 32% more though, which is very good though, especially if you hit like single target enemy, stuff like that. And other than that, the one that's still very solid, which is Iron Sting, you can just craft this. If you already missed this event, you can just craft this weapon and get for free without any spending like in gacha, because this one also good, give you elemental mastery. It's the same stat also, and the effect also very good, dealing damage increased by 12% for the R5, very good also. This one the difference varies not that much, but this one more beneficial in the Selngar target though, if you kinda wonder what's the difference. But in the end, this one is very solid. No matter what you choose, this is still a very solid choice though. Other than that, the one that not really so free to play, but if you lucky, if you get from gacha weapon, because that's only exclusive in weapon gacha banner, which is Sifo's Moonlight, because it gives you EM and it will increase your energy recharge also, and very good for Alhaitham, and you will get also buff in there for your party, which is very good also for your entire party. And yeah, you can equip this for Alhaitham. Other than that, the one that you can utilize, which is the Ally Flash. Ally Flash also give you EM and it also increase your damage by 12% also, which is very good for Alhaitham. Now we move to the artifact sets for Alhaitham. Basically Alhaitham have 2 general sets that very useful for Alhaitham itself. First one, that the one that I using right now, which is 4 sets of Gilded Trims. This is actually very good just because 2 piece give you EM, useful for Alhaitham, and 4 piece you will get buff difference or depends on what you have on your party. You even can get like attack or elemental mastery further for your Alhaitham, which is both of them is very good for Alhaitham because Alhaitham scaling is both attack and EM. That's why this is very good for Alhaitham. And the next one is Deepwood Memories. This is still very good for Alhaitham just because 2 piece gives you the Andro damage bonus by 15% and the 4 piece will give you like if you hit the opponent, will give you the Andro resistance by 30% decrease. Like it's actually very good. But take note, this is only very good for Alhaitham if you don't have any party member that equip these Deepwood Memories. So let's say if your other party already equipped this, let's say Nahida, then this Deepwood Memories will be not so good for Alhaitham. So take notes, Deepwood's only good if the only one that equipped this is Alhaitham itself though. But other than that, I still recommend you to go for Gilded though if already someone have these Deepwood Memories though. There's one more 4 sets that actually can beneficial for Alhaitham, but I don't really like it just because it's not that general or not that flexible. But if you kind of maining in Bloom or Hyper Bloom or Bargain, you can equip this for your Alhaitham because 2 piece it increase your elemental mastery, which is good, and 4 piece it will buff your damage for your Bloom, Hyper Bloom, and Bargain. But take notes, this is only for Bloom related reaction though. So if you kind of want to do spread, I don't really recommend it for you to go for this one. That's why in general is still the Gilded or Deepwood for me. For the alternative sets, so the one that if you don't have a good solid 4 piece, 2 piece still very welcome. Just choose any combination between like 2 piece of Gilded Dreams or 2 piece of Deepwoods or 2 piece of your Deepwood with like let's say your Paradise Lost or with 2 piece of Wanderer Troops. Just any combination between those 2 piece will be good also for Alhaitham. And for Alhaitham artifact main stats, let's start first with the sense. In general, the one that's very good for the sense is Elemental Mastery because it's very useful for Alhaitham reaction damage, and also you can utilize Alhaitham passive in here. But on special occasion, attack percentage also can be good. So if you have kind of let's say God piece like artifact, let's say 50 CV, then you can utilize using attack percentage though. But in general, Elemental Mastery is the best and way to go. And also special occasion, also if you have trouble with energy recharge, you may go for energy recharge because energy recharge also very useful in order for you to do the smooth rotation. But I still always recommend in general is Elemental Mastery. And the next one is Goblet. Goblet in general, I prefer to choose general damage bonus just because it can become more flexible and increase a little personal damage without relying on the reaction, and also can good for spread reaction. But other than that, if you want to equip Elemental Mastery, this is still very good, especially if you specialize in Bloom reaction related, let's say Hyper Bloom. This can be very good also for Alhaitham. But in general, I still prefer the Endo damage bonus just because flexibility for you can play in different kind of the reaction itself though. And for the circlet, basically just kind of standard any other like DPS, which is if you need crit rate, then crit rate. If you need more crit damage, then do for crit damage. So for artifact subset for Alhaitham, basically the one you should prioritize is energy charge because sometimes you can have hard time to maintain your burst back, so energy charge is very prioritized, and afterward is crit rate or crit damage, and after that elemental mastery, and after that is attack percentage. So how many energy recharge that actually Alhaitham need? Basically Alhaitham one of the type character that hard to get the energy back or maintain the burst back, so that's why I really advise you to pair with another Dendro character, let's say Dendro MC, Nahida, or let's say kinda Yaoi, something like that. If you pair like that, the requirement's not that much, it's around 130 to 140 per kind of percent, it's already good. But if Alhaitham is the only one like Dendro in there, you may need around 160 to 180 or even 200% though. That's why it can be dragged, and I always recommend for you to put with another Dendro. And or if you can, like you have like couple of the characters that equip like Fafnir's sword, so Alhaitham can get more energy in that. That's why in my rotation in here sometimes it's not smooth because I lack of energy in here though, so don't be like. As for Alhaitham Constellation, I'll say Alhaitham Constellation is not really favored by me, it's just okay. And let's start first with the Sion. Sion, basically if your projection attack hits the opponent, your elemental skill cooldown decreased by 1.2 seconds. This looks very good, but if you know how to use Alhaitham or you know how to do the full rotation of Alhaitham, you don't even need this. So this can be trap or scam though for you, just because we know that the main gimmick of Alhaitham is to maintain the 3 mirror until the end of your rotation, and you can even do that though at C0, so you don't even need this though. This is probably you need if you have hard time to maintain mirror, or you have the problem with doing the full rotation. Let's say you don't know how to play Alhaitham, then yeah, this is maybe useful. But if you already know how to master Alhaitham, this one is kinda useless though. And C2, basically the one that say it's okay, pretty much good, because if you get your Chisel Light Mirror, you get more Elemental Mastery, which is in kind of good for your Alhaitham damage more, right? And in here increase the level of the skill, which is okay. And this one C4, basically if you use your Elemental Burst, you can get your Elemental Mastery increased by all the party members, similar kind of Yai, which is pretty much kind of okay, I want to say. But Elemental Mastery, we can get a lot of different resources right from the, let's say, Nahida or maybe Kazo or something like that though. So this one is kind of okay, but not so kind of fancy. And this one C4 feels too expensive compared to Nahida. You can even do from the base kit, and you can get also another Dendro damage bonus, which is okay, nice cherry on top. C5 increase your burst, which is okay also. And C6, the one that I think the only constellation that I feel is very good though, because this one after you use your burst, you will get your 3 mirrors regardless how many mirror that you have. This one that actually very good. You just don't care about how many mirrors, you still get 3 mirror. And then in here you will get increase your crit rate by 10% and crit damage by 70%. This makes Alhaitham very strong in here. So my suggestion about this Alhaitham constellation, if you really want the early constellation, then C2. But I still don't prefer any constellation at all. So for me, either C0 or C6. As for Alhaitham Teamcom, basically Alhaitham Teamcom is not that flexible, because the character choice that you want to pair with Alhaitham is not that much. Although yeah, he can put in different reaction, but the character that you want to pair is always around them. There's only 10 or 8 of them though that you always want to pair with Alhaitham. So because of that, Alhaitham is not really that flexible. But I will start first with the one that I like the most, which is Alhaitham in Hyperbloom. Their format is usually 2 Dendro and 1 Hydro and 1 Electro. Why I want 2 Dendro? Just because to get more energy recharge, so it's easier for you to maintain the burst. If you find a heat that's too expensive, you can put Dendro MC and it works still very great though. Of course with Nahida become Giga Chat, but with Dendro MC it's already good enough. And in here, if Yelan too expensive, then just put Shincho, it works still very great. And here Cookie Shinobu cannot be replaceable, just because like Cookie is very good in terms to trigger the Hyper Bloom. Other than that, you can play Alhaitham in spread team, which is this is kind of my format, like 2 Dendro and 2 Electro, so you can get a lot of energy in here and consistent spread. The one you like kind of Yae, Fischl, and Yao Yao. And take notes in here, Yao Yao can always change with Kirara, so thanks with the new addition in Kirara, you can change with Kirara right now, so have more selection. Other than that, if you still want to use in spread with different kind of style, then you can always pair with Nahida in here. Fischl still maintain in here, and you can just put Cookie Shinobu in here, also can work in here though. There's still one more teamcom, which is Alhaitham in Bargain. Generally, I don't really recommend Alhaitham in Bargain, but for this 3.7 Abyss only, because we really need pyro application on the second half, you may go for Alhaitham Bargain, which is the one I usually use. Is you either put Shangli in here, and then in here you can choose Yelan or Shincho as a Hydro in here, and then in here you can use Cookie, so you can go with Hyper Bargain. This one still works great, especially in 3.7 second half, that you can try to go if you still have hard time to clear the Spiral Abyss. So pretty much that's it though for my Alhaitham guide. Yeah, in general I'll also say Alhaitham is very solid on-field Dendro DPS, and I still rate him as a second best Dendro character after Nahida. So yeah, if you know how to use properly in the rotation, Alhaitham become very strong unit though, that I suggest for you. If you already have him, build properly and learn how to use him, and you will get a very good reward from him though. So enjoy this Spiral Abyss run, and if you like this video, feel free to hit the super button and like, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!